Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And I want to pursue the discussion which Chairman Menendez began with regards to the DFC. I have watched, if you will, through business lens, economic lens, as China has carried out what many would consider a brilliant strategy of investing in critical minerals and materials that are essential for the technologies of today and tomorrow. And their Belt and Road has not been randomly carried out, providing opportunities for development, but instead has been focused on securing those resources, such as buying mines, then putting in place rail lines that take the materials from that mine to a port, then buying the port to make sure that they can have access to take those materials to China. It's a series of actions which would probably be illegal for a corporation to take under U.S. law, but they're not subject to U.S. law. And we look to DFC to counter this, although with a fraction of the resources that China has already employed, and also historically with less focus on our strategic objectives and more on simply development and helping lift people out of poverty, a noble goal in and of itself. But I wonder if you could expand on the extent to which you believe it is an important role for DFC to pursue America's economic interests and strategic interests in securing for us many of the minerals and resources that are necessary to be competitive.
Thank you, Senator. I do believe that not only is it critically important for the United States, but it's important for the global community that there not be monopolistic reliance on any single actor for critical minerals, critical and essential supply chains. And I think if confirmed, I would want to work with DFC to continue to support the diversification of important supply chains, to invest in projects that build capacity on critical minerals and build the ability of nations to carry out trade in those minerals in multiple different directions. I believe that DFC is already doing some important work in that respect, not only in Africa, but also a nickel mine in Brazil that DFC is working with in parts of Asia, et cetera. And if confirmed, Senator, I would want to continue to lean into that direction as well.
I would hope that as you consider various alternatives, and I'm sure the list of projects that you might invest in is enormously long, that in carrying out those evaluations and the selection of various projects, that in each write-up there is an element that deals with the strategic, either military or economic or political interests of the United States of America. Do you agree with that?
I do, Senator, and I do think that as we are advancing those strategic objectives, they are very much aligned with the development impact of the projects that we are financing, and I would want to showcase that as well.
Mr. Kagan, with regards to Malaysia, thank you for those responses. With regards to Malaysia, what is their feeling right now? I know we in this country take great pride in the fact that we have lots of friends, and our foes around the world don't have a lot of friends. But I would submit that one of the reasons we have so many friends is because we've been the superpower, the sole superpower. And when there become alternatives, and in fact, in a region where we might not even be the strongest, that friendship ends up being strained. What is your sense now of the Malaysian people, as well as its government, in terms of their sentiment with regards to the U.S. and with regards to the PRC?
Thank you very much for that question, Senator. I think that you've put your finger on what is our broader challenge across the region, and I think certainly in Malaysia, and that is that there is a great reservoir of goodwill towards the United States. At least when I served there from 2014 to 2017, I was constantly struck at the web of connections and web of ties that we have between our peoples and how powerful they are. And the U.S. has been a very important investor and a very important trading partner in Malaysia. And I think the quality of U.S. investment in Malaysia has had a particular impact. In particular, the amount of training, the amount of investment that American companies have made in developing their staff. And you see that in the number of companies that have been started by people who used to work at U.S. companies. But at the same time, there's no question that they are looking to see what we can do now. And I think that my experience has been that they are eager to do more with the United States, but at the same time that they are looking to other opportunities in the region, and they're open to the significant inflows of investment and trade with China. That creates a challenge for us. I think that we can meet that challenge by being engaged, and if confirmed, I would want to help lead that from the position of U.S. Ambassador to Malaysia. But look, we're going to be working very hard at this for a long time to come. I think that we're going to need to be flexible, we're going to need to be engaged, and we're going to need to work with our allies and partners to strengthen our hand as we try and meet these challenges. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Mr. Chairman?